Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at strange and creepy TikToks that are going to make you question reality.
They had to destroy America, Russia, and Germany because they were just too advanced in Tartarian free energy, magnetism. Captain Cook went to Australia and put the Rothschild Windsor flag on Aboriginal land, but they were already in their buildings in Sydney and Melbourne. They were already there.
You're saying some of these buildings are thousands of years old?
Tartarian. It comes from Russia, and just near Moscow to the east, you'll see modern-day Tatar Empire, which is not legally in Russia, but physically in Russia. When the Bolsheviks from Wall Street set up Bolshevik Russian system, they destroyed the Tartarian
Empire.
yes, and even in Germany, you know, Dresden and all of that, that was Tartaria. All those beautiful, highly ornamented Edwardian and Georgian so-called buildings were harvesting magnetic energy. To enslave people, you've got to make them pay for their energy. Before it was free, you know, we had free energy, free food, everything was free. So what they did, the Colonna family went westward, and the Venetians, they went eastward. What they did was controlled their ports. Not to control the lands and everything like Rothschild said, I don't care who makes the laws, I want to control the purse strings, the money.
Money.
This is your chance to free your mind and step out of the matrix. Let's go.
What the hell are they feeding us? What are they putting in our bananas? Or are they even real? I have no freaking idea. Look at this shit. So these ones were bought the other day, 40.11. So were these ones, still 40.11. Dole and Chiquita, doesn't really matter. If you open these damn things up, they bend. The texture is wrong. The fibers are different. They don't taste sweet. They got this weird gumminess to them. Now, I know mushed bananas. I mean, this is not a real banana, I don't think. Bananas don't do this. It's so weird. It's almost like silly putty in your hand. Not eating that.
Okay guys, I need someone to tell me what is going on with bananas. This whole pile here I have opened. They're all split down the middle. And this is what they look like. When you open them, this does not look like a banana. Perfectly lined down the middle. What's happening? Brand new bunch of bananas. I'll lightly use the knife to create a seam. Barely, I'm not cutting it. Well, this one doesn't have the seam. Maybe this one's going to be better.
Yo, they feeding us ooples and banunus, y'all. Ugh. I don't want no strawberry banana. I used to like strawberry banana smoothies. But after seeing that, it's like, oh man, I don't know what they're putting in there.
History will never tell you that we had and still have free energy. These buildings are proof of our hidden technological past. We can see previous civilizations were much more advanced beyond anything we'd ever imagined, let alone what we've been told. And they hide this because they want to hide the Yugos. the Golden Age. All of these temples and buildings of the old world that were built with a purpose. Not just random decoration. Every building served a specific function. They were harnessing kinetic energy and converting it into free electrical power by harnessing the ether above. The amount of construction and craftsmanship in these structures is beyond comprehension. With undeviating geometric symmetry, do you mean to tell me they built this with a hammer and chisel?
No
Help
way.
me understand that the history that we've been taught is a complete lie. These buildings and structures left behind tell us the true story of our past.
Yo, could you just imagine seeing them stone buildings just moving?
And again, I'm out at the entrance to Port St. Lucie, Florida. This is the Savannah Wildlife Refuge. This is where I've shot all my videos before. This is also where I met my friends for the first time. I've always said that I was not going to report this to the authorities because I wanted the world to see this. We've made enough videos. I'm now ready to confirm that I have 100% proof of alien life on this planet. You're looking at it right now. I will be out here at midnight to prove to the world what I've always known.
They be cloaked in the
That
clouds.
changes. I will call. Sorry about that. I got a little emotional. So again, it's Savannah Wildlife Refuge. If there's cloud cover, I'm not sure if they're going to come down or not. There's 200 craft in my house on a daily basis. Okay, a nightly basis. So I will be out there at midnight. Like I said, without, I will have proof on me. But you cannot touch that proof. You cannot do anything, and it cannot be molested at all. Okay, so I will be out there at midnight. And I really don't. I mean, like I said, I am not calling authorities. So whoever wants to be the first person, you're more than welcome. Okay? I just want to see my friends. That's all I want to do. Just want to see my friends.
So he says he has proof. Yo, what happened there?
So here is that house. I believe to be old world, modernized in some ways to hide it. But that has old world written all over it. Now this is a historical site here in Akron, as the narrative goes, and it's probably true. He probably did take over this Tartaria old world house, and it was given to him. Andrew Jackson. There you go. So, yeah, Andrew Jackson, one of the fakers, put into fake power to propagate, the plan after the flood. God was here, and Jesus was here, and this was all built by the archangels, I believe. The times of Jesus have passed for now, and we're in Satan's short season. He's got us for a while. They say that meteorites hit Earth, and that there's 200 craters. And I did a video on this that I had come to realize that those are just dried up geysers. And then through learning through other people and continuing to keep an open mind and think on things, it would definitely prove that there are 200 geysers. The fallen angels were let out of prison. There were 200 angels, and there are now 200 countries. All right, till next time, guys. And just please tell me everything that you guys would know. I'm interested to learn and point out what I missed. That's why I make these, to seek it out myself and feel the energy of it in person. That really matters to me, because I can sense the fakeness or realness, and then to share it and have really great, honest and amazing discussions about it. So I hope this is helpful, and I love you guys. God be with you.
I'm pretty sure everybody has one of those old world homes or buildings inside of their town. For real. Because, I mean, I have them in my town, and they look like they were built into the ground. Like there's floors or stories underneath. You know, what if there was these archangels, or what if they're the ones that caused the flood? I don't know.
Check this. Look at those statues. See that? I'm going to zoom in really good so you guys can see that. Look at those statues, okay? Look at the clock, right? Even the clock is beautiful. The architecture. Look at the straight lines, the amount of detail. If you notice in this photo, there's nobody in the photo. There's no people. No people. So there's a population of supposedly millions of people in each of these states in which I'm showing you. But when they go to take a picture, there's nobody to be found. This is a temple, it sounds like. Here's again, some awkward people just standing around. You see those 4 awkward people just standing around. And then this beautiful, it says, I think a Buddhist temple, which is interesting, right? So where is this? Where are these buildings, right? And this building represents an old Buddhist temple. Buddhist temple. So now we're in 1893, and there's a bunch of Buddhist temples around America. I mean, look at the detail, right? This is the detail of what was in America before a lot of this was all completely just destroyed. And look at the top of that. That is an antenna. This right here, these are antennas, and that is just, yes, remarkable.
It is crazy how the old world was.
This is another ether building that got covered up. This is mud sediment from the flood on the building that just breaks right off. This is all mud that just crumbles right away. This is not stone. This is dried mud and sediment. Look, crumbles right to dirt. All these points are electrical conductors. They rip the electrons from the air. It's going to ground the charge into this building through these bricks. This is all piezoelectricity. This is not a library. All mud right here. The brown on the brick, that is dried mud. This whole building got flooded out. You can see the weathering on the rock. That's all mud caked on there like concrete. You can see it literally forms a layer. You can peel it right off.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally pull it off into pieces. It's big. They put concrete in here to fill these spaces. This is not a foundation. This goes down, way down. Look at this right here, how this was laid. You see how it's all sloppy right here. All this is running right here across the brick. This is not even the same stone that's right here. They added this whole entire stepping system. They turned it into an old library. This all goes down. Look, that was a window right there. This comes down and drops off. These are not foundations. That is not a foundation. There's going to be a foundation with a date, a cornerstone, and a maker's mark. This is not a library. This is an abandoned ether center. Them windows right there, that's what the atom looks like. You can see all these stained glass windows get covered or ripped out and turned into antiques and collectibles. Look, here's another one. They ripped it right out. There is not a foundation on this whole building. It's in the ground. They covered it. There ain't one erected date on the face of this building.
And what's fascinating was there was a guy, I think his page is called My Lunch Break. He's on YouTube, and he showed some of these videos, and he actually asked ChatGPT how many pounds of stones were used for this building. And it came out to, when he asked about a cathedral, it was 500,000 tons of granite. And the granite came from different countries. So how would you move 500,000 500,000 tons of granite. And this was in the 1500s. That's what they're saying. This cathedral was built in the 1500s, and they moved 500,000 tons of granite.
Well, we know that's a lie.
I mean, even if you had horses, imagine the amount of trips it would take to even try to move any of that. Let alone the horses would get tired and fatigued, and then you'd have to walk. And he even showed that it would take, like, I think it was like 10 days to walk from the northern part of Europe to go to Italy to get the granite. So same thing with this. You know, as somebody just said, incredible buildings still standing today. Who did the construction? Exactly. Those are the questions we have to ask. Who actually built all of this? And what is this from? This is not from the timeline of what we were told, because if it was from the timeline of horse and wagon time and that whole situation, then we would sit there and go, okay, you know, you'd have a group of people, you get them together. But when you start looking at buildings that are like this, just so you guys can see that, and just absolutely crazy, you know, designs, you just sit there and go, okay, that doesn't make any sense. And we should ask questions. And why did these people hijack these buildings? Why did they take them over and turn them into a world fair and then make it into a reset?
That is true. Why did they take over these buildings? You know, and why are they trying to destroy them? Why are they trying to destroy this whole timeline? You know, what's the real reason behind it? Who really built these buildings? Who were the people here before? Was it us and they just, like, we're all just brainwashed? Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Were there a whole different race of people here? I don't know.
Viado, vamos achar a linha dela?
Não,
você é doido. De algum lugar, viado. Não, eu vou pegar e levar pra casa, viado.
Não tem linha não, menino.
Lógico que tem, é via Bluetooth.
Deve ser igual.
This is like the craziest shit. Hold on. The sky went black. There was one gust of wind. This does not even do it justice. The sky is on fire orange. Oh my god. This is the craziest storm I've ever been in. I've never seen anything like that before. I need to rewatch this later. I'm just gonna keep going. We got 30 more seconds, y'all. Insane. Wow. Incredible.
Tartaria en Buenos Aires.
Starbucks out of all things. No, for real, who built these?
For all you doubters that this was
I think there's an old war. Like an old war that they don't tell us about. And they're trying to hide something from that war. There's got to be something like that.
reason for the fall of Tartaria was a demonic superweapon. Stick with me. Tartaria was not easy to siege and conquer. They had very powerful defensive weapons in this world and the next. If you want a little insight into how this technology worked, just read the story of Jericho in the Bible. That horn is not a metaphor. That horn was an actual sound frequency weapon. Back during the fourth or last age of this plane, human beings discovered the philosopher's stone of technology, frequency. Frequency was used to create and manipulate matter, as well as pull in energy from other dimensions. Tartaria and the larger empire that Tartaria was a part of was a perfect example of the perfection of this technology. The Tartarian bells were frequency emanators. These frequencies healed people, kept everything in harmony, and also created a sort of force field. If you've ever watched a Marvel movie and you're a student of the occult and esoteric, then you'll know that they're constantly hiding little secrets about the past in those movies. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a perfect example that shows us exactly what happened when Tartaria first started to fall. The following 30 seconds contain spoilers for that movie. When Wanda is trying to siege the temples of the protectors of the realm, she gets into one of the person's minds that's holding up those frequency protections. She is able to get them to feel fear and doubt, and because of that, they stop putting their energy up and a hole is created in the force field. That's how she gets in, and that is how our enemy got into Tartaria. They created a sort of Trojan horse of supernatural power. It was a demonic and psychological attack from within. If you want more context on this, just look at the Egyptians' account of the invading sea people. The Egyptians were warned by Europe as this foreign people that came from out of nowhere started taking over Europe. They were able to send some emissaries down to Egypt to warn them of the coming army. Egypt was able to prepare, and with ankhs, which are repeaters for the energy that comes from the pyramids, they were able to levitate these boats and crash them back down into the sea, and repel the invading forces that were trying to destroy and conquer Egypt like they had done to Europe. Our ancestors mastered the power of frequency to do just about anything they wanted in this reality. As we know with quantum physics, frequency creates particle by disrupting space-time and causing there to be a sort of rift in the sheet. That rift becomes matter and energy. They understood how to create the rifts. But the invading enemy also had their own version of this super weapon, and that was supernatural demonic attack. Once they got into the heads of some of the people within the Tartarian and Atlantean Empire, they were able to destroy from within. This is why the enemy destroyed those bells that sat atop these buildings and replaced them with regular old clocks. Stay tuned for the next part where I tell you how the bell technology works.
Yo, that's like one of the most in-depth definitions of an ancient war that I've heard in a long time. That would be crazy, wouldn't it, to see people in these naval ships? Man, there was some type of war, I'm telling you. Like, if you think about, like, what's the movie, Wonder Woman, right? How there's, like, this war going on and with these Turks and all these different people. And you got these Amazonian women. And I think all of that stuff might have been real.
Crack in the firmament.
This footage was taken in Mexico, and as you can see here, something is spiraling up into the sky, leaving a cloud formation of white dust in form of the spiral. But the interesting part is coming soon. You need to focus on the colorization of the sky before and after the spiral, and soon it seems like the real color of the sky is coming up right after the spiralization. To be honest, it looks a little bit satisfying, right?
They're trying to hypnotize us.
And here it comes. Here comes the different color after the spiral. Look at the blue.
Are we standing in an old world Tartarian building? This is the postal palace of Mexico City. But do we really believe this place was just built to be a post office? Here's the view from the outside. don't build post offices like this anymore, do they?
Sure don't.
And there you see the main entrance. There's some interesting sculptures to be found as well. They say it was built in 1907. I reckon this place is a lot older than we're told.
1907? Really? You know, it is interesting to really sit back and think about what the old world used to be, because it looks like the old world was a lot better and a lot more classier than the world that we have now. The buildings, the architecture, it just had to be, because we can't even think about that type of stuff no more. You know, if a person is like, hey, can you design me a house? Ain't no way it's going to look nowhere near as nice as one of those old world buildings. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about Tartaria and the old world down below in the comment section. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.